Hello, 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 everybody. It is yours truly, Dr. Shamika Dean, your favorite marketing solutionist who has changed the marketing game by teaching marketing from a mindset strategy over a 1, 2, 3 of marketing to dos type strategy. Yeah, that's me. You guys come on in as you're tuning in, to comment, let me know where you're tuning in from because I like to know what parts of the world is being reached through these broadcasts. So, again, just make sure you hit share and invite others to join us to tune in and let me know where you are tuning in from. Okay. I'm sorry. Comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, let's see who we got here. Hey, Celia from Louisiana. How are you? Thank you for tuning in today. And again, make sure that you share and invite others to join us because we're about to talk about expansion today. Because why not, right? Why not talk about it? So if you're new here, welcome. We have fun here. Um, your your thinking is going to be shifted. Um, let's see. Your life is probably going to be changed if you're here. Just so you know. So if that's not what you want, hey, that's what I'm giving out on this Good Friday. So again, make sure you share and invite others to join us. I know there was a problem with the notifications on yesterday. So hopefully that is being fixed while we are waiting. Hey, Aisha. While we are waiting for some others to join, I do want to remind you that you only have a few more days to register for my book launch. Somebody type book launch in the comments. Um, if you don't know, I'm a number one best-selling author of Market Like a Mogul, the Map to Millions marketing strategy, which is a strategic solution to teach you how to go from overlooked to overbooked, teach you how to stand out in a saturated market, and a strategy to teach you how to automate 90% of your sales so that you only have to work 10% of the time. And so I want you to be a part of my audience because it's not just going to be a book launch, but it's launch and learn. So I'm going to be sharing something with you. We have entertainment that's going to be there. You're actually going to get some food so you can get some grub in your belly. And you'll also get an autographed copy of the book. So you just go to shamikadean.com and go ahead and secure your spot because I want to see your face in the place. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, real quick, what we're going to be talking about today, as I said, is, how do you know it's time for you to expand in your business? And I want to talk about this because it's been something that I talked about earlier on this week, but I also had a conversation with a client today, and the topic came up again. So I decided, hey, let me talk about this today, right? So we're going to talk about how do you know when it's time for you to expand. And so here's what I want to share with you. Number one, when it comes to time for you to expand in your business, right? Um, hold on just a second, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay. So first of all, one of the signs that it is time for you to expand in your business is when you are pretty much tapped out in your current audience. Somebody type audience in the comments. You're pretty much tapped out in your current audience, right? So I've gone through this a couple of times myself. As I continue to expand and grow, right? A lot of the offers and opportunities that I have for my audience, they're no longer connecting like they used to. And so it's not necessarily a messaging issue because when it comes to marketing, you know that I teach that marketing is messaging, right? Because when you market right, when your message is tight, it's easy for you to convert people from potential customers into paying clients. However, But when you begin to expand, if you're really truly growing and you're expanding personally and you're investing in yourself professionally, you are going to begin to expand internally, and that's going to start showing up in your business. So that means that the offers and the opportunities that you have for people to work with you, they begin to shift too, right? So again, you literally tap out of your current audience. Okay. And so, but here's what happens, and here's where so many get stuck is you can see the sales start to slow down. So one of the knee-jerk reactions is to go back and tweak your offers, or you may even get the inkling, maybe I need to, decrease my pricing. That's not ever the case. But you may start thinking about, oh, maybe I need to go back and change this, change this. Now, there's nothing wrong with you making sure that your offer aligns and that you are doing your part to make sure that what you're providing to people really works and is helping them and getting them results. So there's no problem with that. However, when you start to see those sales begin to decline in your business, and you've done all of the things that you know to do to continue to increase your revenue, and it's not working, that is a sign that you have tapped out of that particular audience. So what that means is that, number one, you have to expand and come out of your comfort zone. And so what I've learned is, with many high performing women, many people who are already in business, they've been doing well, they're making money, right? When you start making money and things are pretty much on autopilot, you get comfortable in that audience, right? You get comfortable in that audience. And if you're comfortable in that audience, you're going to continue to cater to where you're comfortable and not who you're called to. Somebody type that, from comfort to called. Type that in the comment section. You will continue to cater to who is comfortable to you and not who you're called to. Because if you're evolving, let me share this with you. As you're growing and building your business and you're evolving, your audience should be shifting too. That means that some of the people who started with you should be shifting to the level where you are, because you're taking them on this progressive path with you. And it also means that your audience is shifting because now you're using a language that's locating new people. Are y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? So I'm going to repeat that because I want you to catch it. As you're evolving personally and growing and investing in yourself and in your business, your content, your copy, your offers are going to evolve, and your audience should be evolving and shifting with you. So again, what that means, what that looks like, is that the people who started with you, they're going to start growing and expanding because of what you're feeding them, what you're the value that you are adding to their life. And as they're growing with you, because you're using a different language, you're also going to start locating and leading new people to you that now align with the language that you use, because the language that you use should also align with the new offers and opportunities that you are creating for people to work with you. Does that make sense? I don't see any comments. So let me check on Facebook on this other side and make sure y'all can hear me, since I was having problems yesterday. Hold on. All right, good. Okay. But again, as I was saying, so what ends up happening is that when you get comfortable in that place where you are catering to what's comfortable to you and not reaching the people that you're called to, you're going to see a standstill in your growth and in your business. And eventually what happens is that well that was once full of water, it begins to run dry, because God is now saying to you, hey, your audience is no longer your audience. Y'all catch that? Your audience is no longer your audience. So what do I mean by that? The ones that you're comfortable with, That's not your audience. Because we're not called to comfort. You know why? Because there's no growth in comfort. Hey, Tiffany. I'm going to say that again. We're not called to comfort because there's no growth in comfort. And when you're comfortable, you're not being stretched. When you're comfortable, the next level of your expertise and all that's really within you, you're not tapping into that. All right? You're not tapping. Is my connection messing up again? Goodness grievous. Okay, I'm trying to make sure my connection is not is acting weird. My goodness. It's okay. We're still gonna work through it. All right, good. So y'all can hear me. So back to what I was saying. You're not called to comfort because there is no growth in comfort. And so when you continue to cater to who you're called to, you stay in a place where you really can't expand any farther than where you are. And the reason why we are so it's easy for us to stay there is because we know that to actually continue to evolve, we have to do the work, right? And we can't do that surface level stuff that has served us and gotten us to this place. Now we got to start digging deep. Every time you get ready to go to a new level within your business, there is another level of internal work that you have to do. And I think that the biggest misconception is that we've been made to believe, or we think that once you make a certain amount of money, you don't deal with problems such as confidence. How many of you have had that misconception, if you're willing to be honest? You feel like once you reach a certain level of income or a certain level of influence, that confidence is no longer an issue for you, or that fears automatically disappear once you get to a certain income level or a certain level of influence. Absolutely not. On every single level in your business, there's another level of fear that you have to break through. On every level in your business, there's another mindset barrier that you have to break through. On every level in your business, there's another confidence level that you have to break through, right? So there's not a one stop, one quick fix. It's literally a journey of evolution. And let me share this. Fear looks different at each level. It looks different at each level. The fear of rejection looks different at each level. The fear of abandonment, if you have dealt with that, it looks different on each level. Right? So, for example, your fear of rejection at the beginning level in your business could be that you didn't want to increase your prices because you didn't think people were going to pay you if your prices increased. But the fear of rejection on the other level could look like you not reaching out to collaborate or offering your products to a company because you don't feel like you qualify or that your product or service is good enough. Are y'all still with me? Is that clear? Right? So your confidence level at the beginning of you building your business could be you simply just stepping out there to say that you're a business owner and that you have something to sell. But your confidence level at the next part of your business could literally be you don't feel like you're qualified to sit in the room with millionaires. So what am I saying is that every level requires a different level of confidence, a different level of internal work that you have to do, and all of those things. And so that even means that as you're growing and evolving and you're dealing with with identifying your audience, if you don't feel qualified to teach people on your level, then guess what? You'll keep catering to the people that you feel like you got to pull up to where you are. But let me say this, let me share this with you. Growing and evolving in business means that you have to understand that when you are teaching what you're teaching or doing what you're doing, your level, the audience that you are called to is always going to be right where you are or higher than you. Somebody say, aha. And let me share with you why. I'm going to say it again. Where you're really called to are the people that are on the level that you are or people that are higher than you. What's comfortable to you are the people that you feel like you have to reach back and pull up to get where you are. And here's why we have to focus on serving who we're called to, because that is how you're going to get where you're supposed to. So what's going to happen though is when it's time for you to start talking to those people, you're automatically going to feel like an imposter, because you're still going to be working through some of the things that you are supposed to be helping other people work through. But you'll begin to feel like an imposter and you'll count yourself out and you'll say, I'm not qualified to talk to those people. But there's still something in you that they need. But because you have deemed them so much higher and more worthy than who you are, you don't serve them in the capacity that you are called to serve them. You don't offer the solution that they really need, because you're telling yourself, I have to wait until I've done XYZ, when the reality is you already have what they need. See, they may be making more income, but they're not really confident in who they were created to be. And they're making the income that they are making because they have conformed to the crowd around them. How many of y'all is this helping right now? Because I just want to make sure I'm not talking to myself. But you're measuring them by the amount of money in their bank account. But they're struggling with confidence just like you are. They're struggling with the confidence to even be themselves. They're struggling with being able to do it the way that God told them to do it. But they see that you have the confidence to do it. So they're like, I want to work with her. I want her. I know that I need to be assigned to her because she has the confidence to be authentically herself and she's still building her business. Okay, I see some people saying their mind is blown right now. Okay. Because you convinced yourself that you have to have mastered a particular thing or area before you can actually help people with what you already have within you. And this is not saying that you should try to teach something that you haven't done. This is saying that stop disqualifying yourself based on their qualifications. Is that clear? Stop disqualifying yourself based on their qualifications. And here's another thing that I want to say to you. If you are disqualifying yourself because you're looking at their bank account or you're looking at the amount of followers that they have, then you need to check that. You need to check that. Because that means that a part of your identity is being found in your income and influence. I'm going to say that again. If you are disqualifying yourself because of the number of followers they have or the number of zeros in their bank account, you need to check that, because what you're saying is that a part of your identity is being found or rooted in your income and influence. Yes, they may be making more money, but are they managing it properly? They still need you, because even if you're not making as much money as they're making, guess what? You have investments that they don't have, because you know how to maintain and maximize the money. And so guess what? They need you. Now I might need to take y'all to church a little bit today. I don't know. Let me see what he say as I keep going through this content. So Cassandra says, I had that happen last year. One of my clients' business almost reached $1 million, and I was shocked she hired me. Then I realized why. Just what you're saying. Yeah, because if money was the end all be all, then there would be no need for people to fit in, or to need like they feel accepted, feel like they need to be accepted, or any of those things. It's not. It's not. There are a lot of miserable people that do have money. Now, let me check this real quick, because I want to make sure it's not misconstrued. I am not one of those that's against wealth or prospering or abundance or any of those things. I believe that all of that is what God wants us to have. So let me make sure that I put that out there. Okay. So y'all won't think, I don't want the message to get misconstrued. Okay. I wanted to make sure that I was, that I was clear on that. But there are a lot of people that are miserable with money, because, like, what I understand is that I'm called to high performing women who still need confidence. I'm called to high performing women who still need authenticity. I'm called to high performing women who are burnt out because they don't know how to automate. I'm called to high performing women who are already making money, but they want to be able to take time and spend with their family, their friends, and all of those things. Right? So I know that I'm called to those women. And you have to understand that if they're coming to you, it's because they know that you have something that they need. So don't sit in the seat of intimidation and allow your ability to impact their lives to walk out the door, because you are looking at their qualifications and disqualifying yourself. So Kanesia says, prime example is Oprah seeking out Dr. Phil. She had the money but needed his expertise and guidance through the process, and brought him up in success. However, he had to still deliver the work. Absolutely. And Cassandra says she needed support in areas I've been embodying, and I was following her in numbers, and she was looking at my life. Some people, let me tell you something. This is about to help a few of y'all. Some people with the money would exchange it for the peace that you have. Like, literally. They would exchange it for the peace that they see you walking in. Some people would trade the money to be able to be free to be themselves. They would trade the money to be able to have the courage and the boldness to do it their own way. Some people will trade places for that. Some people will trade places to trade the money to be bold enough to say what they want to say and not cower back. Some people will trade that money so that, because they would rather be able to build a business their own kind of way. Some people will trade the money so that they can be their own blueprint and be their own boss. Come on, I'm trying to tell y'all, you have to stop disqualifying yourself. And this is why I'm talking about, that's how you know that your audience, it's time for you to level up. You tapped out in that audience over there because of who you're supposed to be working with. Some of you are supposed to be working business to business, but you're so comfortable working business to consumer. And here's why, and I'm about to extract a few edges real quick. The reason you're so comfortable working business to consumer instead of business to business is because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid that the people with the money will not accept you because you haven't dealt with being bullied from grade school. Being bullied from grade school. Some of you are afraid to shift from business to consumer to business because you fear abandonment. You have built this community of people who love you and rant and rave about how amazing you are. And so, because you fear abandonment, you don't want them to feel abandoned, but you're not helping the ones that you're really called to. Some of you are still doing business to consumer instead of business to business because you still have a confidence issue. So it's comfortable over here because everybody is clapping for you. And you know that when you go into new rooms and have to go into new atmospheres and you have to get on podcasts instead of being able to do a live video and you have to get on camera instead of doing a podcast, you are afraid you don't have the confidence. So you're still catering to who you're called to, even though you can see that the well is drying up, even though you can see that they're no longer responding to your offers the way that they used to respond to your offers. Even though you know your content needs to shift, you won't shift your content because you're afraid that you're going that somebody on this level that you admire and you're inspired by, that they may look at your content and feel like, oh, that's mediocre. You'll keep writing the blog instead of writing the book because the blog you can kind of almost control who has eyes on it. But the book, once you put it out there, it's out there. But you also know, and you can listen to other people's content and your content will do circles around it, but you don't have the confidence to level up. You know that you've tapped out in that audience. That audience is no longer your audience. You know that that's what's comfortable for you. You know that it's time to shift to LinkedIn, but you stay on Facebook because that's what's comfortable for you. And so, although you're saying, I'm believing, I know I'm $1 million business owner, I know that I'm supposed to have more influence, but yet and still, you stay over here doing what's comfortable because you have pacified your lack of moving forward with productivity. So as long as you're still posting on social media, you're still going live every day, you're still sending out your emails every other day, right? You're pacifying your lack of doing what you're supposed to do with productivity. Because productivity, as long as you're being productive and you're getting some profit, it eases the guilt. I'm not even frozen. I'm just sitting here looking at y'all right now. I'm not frozen. You know what you're supposed to be doing, but you keep catering to the audience, that's comfortable for you. So you're supposed to shut down one part of your business, but nope, that's comfortable. It's where the bread and butter is coming from. But the bread barely getting butter because you're not making the amount of income that you could be making. Your bread's still a little dry. If we're gonna be honest, probably a little burnt. Okay. And let the church say amen and amen again. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. God has spoken. Let the church say amen. Hallelujah. Come on. Oh my goodness. Seriously, your audience is not your audience. If you're comfortable, then that means that you are out of alignment. If you're comfortable, that means that you are not in front of your audience, because your audience should always be challenging you and pulling you forward. It should be causing you to grow. And that is a way that you know that you have tapped out in your current audience. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. And this might ruffle a few rompers, but I'm going to say it anyways. If you are struggling to get people to pay your prices and people are complaining about your prices, and that's because you're not charging enough. Now I know somebody's going to be like, say what now? Yeah, you're not charging enough. That means you're trying to force feed people. Your audience is actually leveled up, but you keep looking back. And just say ouch. It's okay. Just say ouch. Just say ouch. All right. I think I'm done. It's my lunchtime and I need to eat because I have a client at 1 today. So, with that being said, how many of you all have signed up for the book launch? Somebody a long hard cry. It's okay, cry and just get back in the game. It is what it is. When I learned who I was called to serve, everything about my business aligned with that. Everything about it aligned with that. My pricing had to shift, my messaging had to shift, my offers had to shift, and all of those things. And that's the hardest part about growing. That's one of the hardest part about growing a business. Yes, Ayana says she's in there like swimwear. I can't hardly wait to hug your neck, Miss Ma'am. But that's one of the hardest parts about growing and evolving in business, is realizing that you have to grow forward. And growing forward means that you have to grow first. Uh-oh, did y'all catch that? GFGF. To grow forward means that you have to grow first. You have to grow first. So when I think about the women that are continuously coming to me, one of the things that I'm asking God is, what do they need from me? And what do you need? Where do you need me to grow so that I can continue to serve them, so that I can continue to help them get to where they need to be? See, this is the kind of stuff that a lot of high performing business owners and successful coaches and clients, I don't see them talking about. I see a lot of money, 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 money. Oh, I had a moment. I'm sorry. Took me back. I lost it. Okay, let me get back. Let me get back. But I see the money, 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 but I don't see the mental, mental, mental. I don't see the internal, internal, internal. I don't see them saying, let me make sure you're in alignment. I don't see them saying, you know what, it really is not the strategy that you need. It's the work that you need to do on yourself. Like, I don't see a lot of that. Okay. Um, but here I am to tell you the truth and shame the devil. Okay. Um, she says, I've learned not to come on here without my Kleenex nearby. Doc is dangerous. Listen, I'm diagnosing y'all, but I'm also giving you directions to heal. Excuse me. But again, like I said, I saw a lot of that. And I'm like, what? There's something missing in this industry. What's missing in this industry is leaders and those that sit in these seats that have reached this level of success being vulnerable enough to say, hey, this is what's really going on. This is where I was. This is where I am. This is what needs to happen to move forward. I see a lot of strategy for growth, but I see very minimal strategy for internal growth. So I see a lot of external, strategies, but I see a lot of internal. And although there are some spiritual components and things like that being added to a lot of programs, there is still a huge component missing where people aren't really getting what they really truly need. They're getting coping mechanisms. Does that make sense? They're getting coping mechanisms, but they're not really getting an actual um, strategy to help them deal with the reality of what's going on. And I don't care how successful you are, if you don't deal with the stuff that's going on in here, it's going to show up in your business. I had a young lady, and I'm going to read this message verbatim that she sent to me the other day. Hold on. Let me find it. Let me find it because I want y'all to understand why I do what I do. Um, so she messaged me and she said, last year I was following you heavy. You spoke something very strong, some very strong spirit led words to my spirit in regards to healing trauma and being in a good mental space in order to operate a successful business. You were so right. You were and are so right. Please continue to mentor and coach how you are because you are so, so right. Your words didn't fall on deaf ears, and I've been able to see that for myself. I've been able to see how you are correct. Mental health and trauma, etc., has to be examined first. And then she left me a voice note, but I'm not going to play that. And so I said all of that to say the people in my audience, again, they are very successful. They are high performing women. They do the work. They don't have a problem implementing. They may have a few mental blocks, with that they need to break through at first. But the ones I'm called to understand the importance of their personal life being parallel with their professional life. Like they understand that who they are personally is going to show up professionally and it's going to impact their profit goals. So when they come to me, although they're coming because they see marketing, they see me teaching signature programs and systems. When they're coming, they're like, I know that there is something deeper that I need to deal with internally. I know that, yes, I may need more confidence to sell, right? Or I know, yes, I may need an automation plan or systems to automate my business and take back my time. But I also understand that I'm not really happy in this business. I also understand that there was a driving force behind me that's pushing me to go so hard. And I'm saying that it's because I want to reach my goals. I'm saying that I'm called here to leave a legacy. But the reality is there is something driving me that is unhealthy, right? There is a pain inside of me that's driving me and it's not good. So when they come, they're not just coming because they want the strategy. Yes, that may be what initially attracted them, or so they thought. But I know what's on me and in me, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing in the lives of people. So that's why we have to understand who our audience is and be willing to level up. So I'm bringing this back home. But we have to understand who our audience is and be willing to level up so that we can truly, truly become level and aligned with the people we're truly called to serve. Is it easy to do that shift? No, it is a progressive path. It takes confidence, it takes boldness, it takes courage. But here's the thing, and this is my honest to God truth. The only reason I'm able to work with women who are in the same level of playing field that I'm on, and those who are higher on a level that's higher than me as far as, the income they produce or the influence that they may have. The reason I'm able to do that is because I have solidified my identity in the one who created me. My identity is not attached to my income. It's not attached to the influence. Um, it's not attached to any labels that people have created. Labels are limiting, and we'll talk about that on another topic. But it's not in any of those things. I'm solid and rooted and grounded in God, not from a marketing perspective that's popular, but from a reality that I live on a daily basis. And I asked God a long time ago to detach my identity from things that are external. I asked him to solidify who I am in him so that I won't be swayed by the opinions of people. I won't say that that's been easy. And this is why I tell people when they use authenticity as a buzzword, I tell them, you don't really know what authenticity is then. Because if you think it's just, I don't care what people think about me, baby, you are reverse engineering, trying to reverse engineer the fear of rejection. That's all that is. Because we do care what people think. We do. Okay. If we didn't, we would make sure our messaging aligned with our audience. If we didn't care what people think, we wouldn't try to create better products so that they would like them and pay for them. So we do care. It's the power that you give the people when they think what they think. Okay. But anywho, like I said, when people use authenticity as a buzzword, I'm quick to say, if you really understood what authenticity is, it's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than cutting people off and protecting and preserving your peace. It's bigger than that. Authenticity really is about knowing your God-given identity and being so rooted and solid in it. That's what authenticity is about. Authenticity is a journey, a journey of evolution. Authenticity is healing. Authenticity is being real with yourself. Authenticity is saying that, yes, this may be the way I am, but this is not the best version of me. So I need to do what I need to do so that I can change it, so that I can become the better version of myself. Okay. Authenticity is being able to be comfortable in my own skin, owning, right, who I am and fully embracing and accepting who I am, including all of the imperfections that I have. That's what authenticity looks like. And that does not happen without healing. That does not happen without going back and dealing with, the fact that when you were 10 years old, your mama may have called you, made you feel ugly. Right? It's dealing with the situations that you had in school growing up. It's dealing with the fact that, when your heart was broken, when you had your first love and your heart was broken, they cheated on you with somebody else. And then, you started feeling like you were never good enough to be first, that you always had to be second best. That's what authenticity looks like. Okay. Authenticity means that you can no longer suppress the pain. Authenticity means you got to come out of survival if you really want to soar. That's what authenticity looks like. Okay. That's why I'm like coming on here talking to y'all, because y'all have me on here all day talking about something else. That's what authenticity is. Okay. So it's a whole nother subject. I'm talking about something completely different than the original intentions of the video, but that's authenticity. Hello. That's authenticity, meaning that you let God lead you and let him do what he's gonna do, even when you start out teaching about business and he's like, go in here and tell them, yeah, right. That's authenticity. Cause I love God. You don't love God. What's wrong with you? That's so old, but I still like that song. Cause that's authenticity, right? Cause some of y'all may be like, you don't like that. Or why is she doing that? I thought she was talking about this. I thought she was talking about that. That is authenticity. But here's the thing: it took me a while to get to this place because I had to heal from the words that were spoken, the incidents that happened. I had to do the internal work. Okay, I had to do the internal work. All right, but nevertheless, I think that's all I have for y'all today. I think. Besides, I love this song. Listen, that's it. I think that's all I have. Again, if you have not registered for the Market Like a Mogul book launch, listen, I need y'all to pack this room out like y'all love me, because y'all love me a lot on social media, but I need y'all to love me a lot and be in the building. So go to shamikadean.com and get your ticket for the book launch so that we can eat and have fun and be entertained and we can learn and we can laugh and love on each other and all of those good things. If you love me like you love me for real, okay? And register and come on and spend some time with me in person. Come out from behind this screen, okay? And if you haven't had one of my hugs, you're really missing out. You're really missing out if you haven't had one of my hugs. Okay? Because they are amazing. So I've been told. So I've been told. Listen, if you have to get with a friend and with the friend, to be able to be there, see, she says I have the best hugs. I give amazing hugs. I hug you like one of those, like your aunties, your favorite aunt. Like I hug you so hard and love on you, and because I want you to know that you really are important. You're special. You're loved. And I need you to feel it in my embrace. If Messiah says facts, see, Messiah's had one of my hugs. I'm trying to tell y'all, you need to listen. Okay. And we're like, come here, sugar. Come here, sugar. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anywho, let me get off here. I got to get some lunch, seriously, for my client call. But I love y'all immensely and intensely. So shamikadean.com is where you go to get your ticket to join us for the book launch and learn. Okay? Okay. I wish I could say okay. I wish I could do that like Cardi B, but I can't. I tried to can, but I can't. My it just doesn't work for me. Okay. All right. Love y'all. Talk to you later.